From Karachi tonight, Brigadier Nawaz, defense analyst. From Lahore tonight, Orya Maqbool Jan, political analyst and columnist. From Islamabad tonight, Syed Tariq Pirzada and group captain Sultan Hali, strategic affairs analyst. From the Indian side tonight, Rashneek Kher of roots in Kashmir, RSN Singh, formerly with the research and analysis wing, Maroof, Raza, consulting editor, strategic affairs. We'll be joined by Ahmar Mustikhan, journalist and defender of human rights of the people of Baloch, live from Washington. That's about 7 minutes from now. Let the debate begin. Why did you back out? Let's get a clear answer with a clear understanding and some honesty tonight. Let me ask Brigadier Nawaz, why did Pakistan suspend the talks?
Let me tell you, Arnab, this is not the case. The Pakistan has not suspended the talks. They have gone for the facts, because for the last 2 years, Pakistan has been trying and asking India to come on the table, sit down, talk it out, and let's settle all the matters peacefully. But the issue is on Pathankot issue, when the sectorial talks were all set, and Pathankot issued, that is the where you suspended the talks.
No, but why did you?
And then we have been harping.
No, my sense is that you suspended the talks because you were paranoid. At one stage,
no.
Allow me, Brigadier Nawaz, allow me to give you my perspective.
Okay.
Then counter my perspective. In fact, I'll let RSN or someone counter your perspective, that then we take it forward. Now, the point is, my view is that you panicked, you got scared, and you officially suspended the talks, which is a very unusual move. Nowhere in the world are talks suspended like this. But you suspended the talks because had you not suspended the talks, then you would have had to give some reciprocity to the Indian side. Because we let your JIT in, you would need to let India's NIA in, and you would have to give access to Bahawalpur, from where Masood Azhar runs his terror network. So you panicked and you suspended the talks. That's my understanding, Brigadier Nawaz. Maroof will respond after your comment. Yes, Brigadier Nawaz, the debate is open. The debate is open. Yes, Brigadier Nawaz.
Right. Basically, you see, the point is, we did not suspended the talk. He has said that they're almost suspended because for the so many days, so many months, we have been trying that we should sit and talk all issues all comprehensively. We should discuss everything, and that was the issue. And then, of course, the sector. He said the peace process. He says the peace process between India and Pakistan is suspended. That's a coarse way of doing diplomacy. It is suspended because the point is. Yeah, why did you? The point is, it is suspended because for the sectorial talks were always on the table, and then Pathankot incident happened. You see, the issue is when some.
There must be a reason you've done this. No, okay. RSN is countering first. RSN. What's Brigadier Nawaz, Colonel RSN Singh? Brigadier Nawaz versus Colonel RSN Singh. Colonel RSN Singh from Delhi. Brigadier Nawaz. Colonel RSN Singh is countering you. Go on.
Now, let me tell you, I have such a great sense of relief today that finally Pakistan has given us the deliverance from this cycle of terror and talks. So now all options are open before us. Now I'll tell you, Brigadier Sahab, you know what is the reason? The reason is that Pakistan is imploding. Believe me. It is not to put you down in a debate I'm talking. I am a very, very minute follower of Pakistan. Your happenings there. And let me tell you what has happened. When Karachi happened, you embarked on Zarbe as the Karachi airport attack. After the Peshawar school attack, you had this national action plan and you set up those military courts. Now in last 1 week, ever since this Pathankot, this fraud of joint intelligence investigation started, the army is now in Punjab. That is your heart. And now you are unraveling. That is why you do not want our team to go to Bhavalpur as...
That's right. That's why you suspended the talks.
So you are imploding.
That's why they suspended the talks. There's no actually.
This Prime Minister... or the new dispensation gave you a chance, which every new dispensation should do, to behave like a nation state. So now we have no alibis and we know what entity we are dealing with. Your Mr. Basit is talking about centrality of Kashmir. Are Kashmir kahan le jaoge when Pakistan is splintering?
You called off the talks. Now, you, 1 second. This is a very unusual situation. This is, no, 1 second. This is,
let me tell you.
RSN, a minute. RSN, let's hear more from the Pakistani side. 1 second. Let's hear more from the Pakistani side. 1 minute. 1 minute. First of all, viewers.
Sorry, you are imploding.
First of all, viewers, we all understand diplomacy. We know how foreign policy works. I can tell you with firm conviction, and even a hardliner for untruth like Syed Tariq Pirzada, for example, even he will admit that nowhere else in the world are talks suspended in this way. I mean, first of all, Syed Tariq Pirzada, you know the consequences. You're laughing there. You should drill this into your head, that no longer will you be able to accuse India either bilaterally or on any international platform that India has backed off from the talks. You were never right. But today, you have confirmed this by your own admission, from your own High Commissioner, that you have closed the chapter on the dialogue process when actually it has not, which means you can no longer blame India after this. You will only, and everyone in the international community will blame you for suspending the talks in this casual and cavalier manner. I mean, even if you're a rogue state, this is not the way to do it. Syed Tariq Pirzada and then Maroof Raza, please. Syed Tariq Pirzada. ये जो कहते हैं हिंदी में, आपने अपने पाँव पे कुल्हाड़ी खुद मारी. आपने अपने पाँव में आज कुल्हाड़ी खुद मारी है. जी.
Let's continue in English.
No, it's all right. You see, that's all right. You can continue in whichever language. I'm just communicating to a larger audience. हमें हिंदी में बोलने में, उर्दू में बोलने में शर्म नहीं है. हम इसलिए कहने आपको ताकि आप समझ सके. जी, if you want an English translation, I'll give you.
Let's talk in Urdu then.
Ji, go on.
Do you want me to deliver all this?
Whatever. Continue, please.
All right. Well, let me say in Urdu and then I'll say it in English. कुलभूषण ने भारत माता को की शहरक को गले से पकड़कर कहा है कि भारत एक दहशतगर्द रियासत है.
Listen, if you want to be crude, if you want to be crude, then I will have to tell you that I will not allow crudities on the program. What I'm saying tonight is this. 1 second, Syed Tariq Pirzada, understand that on the listen, Syed Tariq, do not degrade the level of the debate. Do not degrade the level of the debate, Mr. Pirzada.
Mother India is a prime sponsor of terror in Pakistan. Mother India, you should be ashamed.
1 second. Now, Mr. Pirzada, it was on 9th December. And I'm saying this, Maroof, we will not degrade the level of this debate.
Are you ashamed?
The question is, on the 9th of December 2015, on the 9th of December 2015, on the 9th of December 2015, two governments decided to take the dialogue process forward and agreed, Maroof, to a framework of talks.
You are lying to the gut.
It was the Indian Prime Minister, Nawaz Sharif.
Lying to the gut.
It was the Indian Prime Minister. Will you stop?
You've been delaying. You've been stonewalling on the talks for the last 3 months in the name of Pathankot, the biggest lie of the history of India. So you can't tell me that, you were trying to take the process forward. That's the lie of the century. Arnab, grow up.
Okay, I'll tell you one thing. It has been a long time since I responded to childish and amateurish provocation. So you will not get that response from me that you are seeking. The question tonight is, let's move away from technicalities, Maroof, and go into a serious debate. Maroof, let's get Maroof in. He put his hand up a long time back. Point is, my understanding is, Maroof, my understanding and the understanding of all the people of India is that, 1 second.
Let me hear him out.
Yeah. You'll have to hear someone else. You'll have to stop talking for a minute or two. Thank you very much. The fact is, Maroof, we were still intent, despite domestic opposition, on having a dialogue with Pakistan, despite its involvement in Pathankot. Then why has Basit come and said the talks are suspended? What was the provocation, the trigger, Maroof?
Do you want me to spell?
Maroof, please. Maroof.
You know how to spell the
Maroof, and then Group Captain Ali will respond to him, please.
Not only that you sponsored terror in Pakistan through that man, you also implicated the Republic of Iran and used their soil for that purpose. Shame on you.
Okay, now let's get a serious response from Maroof Raza, please. Maroof.
Mr. Pirzada, we've heard you. Mr. Pirzada, we've heard
Maroof,
you. Now let me sort of, if you give me a few minutes and stop.
No, you have all the time, but you can address Mr. Arnab.
No, I know, but if you stop giving your wicked laughter, then some of us can speak. Okay? Now, Mr. Pirzada, just hear me out. The first thing is that if anybody who should have called off or suspended the talks, it should have been India after all these incidents where you have sponsored attacks on India repeatedly, and you have gone and picked up one retired naval officer who by all accounts has been kidnapped, and you are trying to make a song and dance about the fact that your entire Baloch insurgency, which is almost 45 to 60 years old, has been orchestrated by a man who is 45 years old. But anyway, I'll set that aside. What I want to say in reference to High Commissioner Bassett's remarks is, firstly, even if there was no formal agreement between India and Pakistan that this should have been reciprocal, I think the honorable thing between two states is that when we give you that kind of access, it would have been good in the nature of bilateral ties, and if you sincerely wanted to improve it, also to give our team certain amount of bilateral access to prove your own sincerity in dealing with the problems of terrorism that you claim India has been unfortunately accusing you of. But the evidence is so enormous and you were feeling cornered, and therefore to distract your public's opinion from the GIT visiting India, you picked up this retired naval officer who by many accounts was kidnapped, and you created a song and dance about it so that public opinion was divided. Having said that, I want to make the second point, and the second point is that High Commissioner Bassett has probably achieved his aim of getting back onto the level playing field with India by initially getting both sides to get into the talking process. Please remember, it was him who did backdoor diplomacy to get national security advisors of India and Pakistan to talk in Bangkok, leading to Sushma Swaraj and Mr. Modi's visit to Pakistan, where a comprehensive dialogue process was declared. And in the comprehensive dialogue process, your issue of Kashmir has also been mentioned. So I cannot understand what, other than yesterday's meeting between the Prime Minister and the service chiefs, has led to this whole decision to call off the talks, because as per your own columnist in today's India's paper, Aisha Siddiqa, she says Nawaz Sharif is now a shadow of his past and is struggling to establish control on foreign policy, which has completely gone back into the hands of men in khaki. Now, either she is wrong or we are wrong, because we cannot believe that everything is happening only by Mr. Bassett's initiative.
You see, Maroof.
And the last point, Arnab, which is very important, that Pakistan must understand that if they want to move forward with India, they must adhere to some kind of terms of diplomatic engagement. If they don't want, we have enough armory in our own cupboards to unleash against Pakistan in international forums. And if they expect that only Commander Kulbhushan is going to be their repository of information to prove that India is sponsoring terror, then all the evidence we've had for the last 25 years certainly merits more than the 25 days they held Kulbhushan in custody and then put him like a parrot in front of the camera to rattle out a doctored statement. I mean, the world is, please don't insult the intellect of Indians and the world. Please come up with something better.
Now, Maroof, I think, and as I go to Orya Maqbool Jan, 1 second, Orya Maqbool Jan will respond to Maroof tonight. Mr. Jan, 1 second. Don't heckle, sir, don't heckle your Pakistani co-panelists, please. Mr. Pirzada, please.
I don't know what you guys have no sense at all.
Mr. Orya Maqbool Jan, please.
On the debate, a murderer, a slayer.
I don't know what's happening in the debate, but for the last 40 years.
Okay, Orya Maqbool Jan versus Maroof.
Talking about the dialogue.
Yeah.
Yes. For the last 40 years, we're talking about the debate and the dialogue and the dialogue and the dialogue, and nothing is coming out of it. We had dialogues when Mr. Nehru was coming to India, and that it was suspended because of Sheikh Abdullah was coming to India, Pakistan, and Nehru cancelled the visit. There was a dialogue going on, and we had 1971, and that 1971 you publicly claimed at Dhaka that we actually supported the movement to separation of Bangladesh. Then dialogues went on, and we had dialogue with
Maroof, one second, can we get it?
We supported it for we supported Arnab 71 was supported by us on a humanitarian ground.
That's right.
They created a genocide. We saved the Bangladeshis from more millions dying. So we don't deny getting involved in Bangladesh, but our involvement was a consequence of your genocide.
Please have patience. Please have patience. If you can say genocide, I can say genocide in Kashmir. Those are international boundaries. International boundaries are to be respected.
Sir, then we are now producing evidence of your genocide in Balochistan. अब वो आपको अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है?
Okay. हमें भी पता है कहाँ जेनोसाइड हो रही है, पूरी दुनिया जानती है. But I am talking about what, let's call spade a spade. That there is no room for the dialogue.
I'm calling.
There's no room for the dialogue.
I'm calling spade a spade.
When you are sitting in Zaidan for the last 25 years, when you are sitting in Jamar for the last 13 to 20 years, what you are doing over there?
Let Mr. Jan complete. Let him. Okay, Mr. Jan, you've completed now. You've completed now. Now 1 second. Now 1 second. Now 1 minute, Mr. Jan. Mr. Jan, I didn't interrupt you. Mr. Jan, I didn't interrupt you. I'll decide to respond to him. 1 second. Have some patience, please. 1 second.
Even the Iranian president,
Maroof,
even the Iranian president dismissed their claims as rumors.
Maroof, 1 minute. Maroof,
dismissed their claims.
Maroof, 1 minute. Mr. Jan, now, and Maroof, 1 minute. Please hold back. Hold back. I have something to say at this stage of the debate. From Lahore, Mr. Orya Maqbool Jan questions Maroof Raza on his presentation. Mr. Jan, you are a columnist, and therefore I presume you understand the meaning of the word reciprocity. मैं ये रावलपिंडी की reciprocity नहीं कह रहा हूं. मैं reciprocity जो कह रहा हूं, जो ऑक्सफोर्ड डिक्शनरी में लिखी जाएगी, इसकी मतलब क्या है? Not Rawalpindi reciprocity is the reciprocity between Nawaz Sharif and the ISI. Right? Where Nawaz Sharif gets to stay in power and in turn lets the ISI mollycoddle Osama bin Laden. That is Rawalpindi reciprocity. मैं वो reciprocity की बात नहीं कह रहा हूं. मैं कह रहा हूं reciprocity कहां है भाई? We let the JIT come. You let the NIA go. You let the NIA go and you give the NIA access to the accounts and offices of the Al Rahmat Trust that is used as a cover for the Jaish-e-Mohammed. You give India access to the houses and the homes of the family members of the 4 killed Pakistani terrorists. You give India access to the control room in Karachi from where the handlers were instructing the 10 terrorists about how to go about their carnage. You give us access to the Lashkar-e-Toiba JUD headquarters, which is the high security complex in the town of Muridke. Will you give us that access? If you can't give us that access, then don't call yourself a civilized nation. That means you're a barbaric nation with your own rules, Mr. Jan. You have to give access, otherwise you do not understand the basis on which international diplomacy between civilized nation works. And let me tell you one thing, aapko abhi bhi 1971 ka paranoia hai, so I'm feeling very sorry for the Pakistanis. Can you get over 1971? You lost. And you didn't lose only to the Indian army. You lost to the people of Bangladesh. And I can assure you, you will lose to the people of Balochistan next. If you don't see the writing on the wall. Rashneek, I want to say something to you.
No,
Rashneek,
all 4 of them together.
You see, Arnab. Mr. Jan, I did not speak when you were speaking.
Rashneek Kher versus Orya Maqbool Jan. Rashneek Kher.
I have an important piece of information which I would like to share. In Pokhara, 2 gentlemen by the name of Sartaj Aziz and Ajaz Chaudhry were very, very desperate. They approached the Indian Foreign Secretary and the Foreign Minister and said, let the composite dialogue process begin. Okay. After this, it was agreed that the Foreign Secretaries would meet in New York, and after which the Prime Ministers would meet on the sidelines of the summit. and maybe some discussion could take place on the compost. Now, in between this, India allowed the visit of Pakistani JIT into its country, and suddenly Pakistani Prime Minister cancelled his trip to New York because he knew the fait accompli would be this, that they would have to start the composite dialogue process, one. Number two, they would also have to let the reciprocity, which obviously they won't understand the meaning. You can quote any amount of Oxford dictionaries to them, because for them reciprocity means what they give to Haqqani network and what Haqqani network gives back to them. So then they backed out because the army told Nawaz Sharif not to go to New York to attend the nuclear summit. And after this, it was immediately this gentleman Kulbhushan, who by all accounts has been kidnapped from Central Asia and produced as a poor man, is produced as a spy. He was produced before us and before the world. Let me tell you, sirs, we have hundreds of terrorists in Jammu and Kashmir alone who are Pakistanis. For your one Kulbhushan, we can put up thousands of people. Even the present JEM chief, Azhar Masood, spent quite a lot of time in a jail in Jammu and Kashmir, sir, if just to refresh your memory. So Arnab, at that point of time, Mr. Basit was instructed by the Pakistani army as a face saver for Nawaz Sharif and for the Pakistani army to say that we are suspending the dialogue process. Now this is the genesis of the dialogue process.
There's one more point. There's one more point.
Just let me add something.
RSN, quickly, please, because we need to go to Washington as well. 1 second. Yes.
Just
Mr. Pirzada, relax. Mr. Pirzada, relax.
There's a bunch of liars.
You see about Kulbhushan, there is a Gilgit-Baltistan Congress leader called Hasnan. He has said that the issue was not about India, the issue was Iran, because by fabricating this spy story, Pakistan wanted to send a message to Iran in its adjustment of policies in the geopolitical flux in West Asia. This is a Pakistani saying this. The second thing is, the entire Pathankot drama was done to buy reprieve for the period of nuclear security summit. When that was over, because you are calculating that the Obama dispensation, his days are over now, so you have to readjust your American policy. So the moment that was over, you tried to jettison out of this entire joint investigation. And I strongly suspect that your ISI has a hand in the assassination of this NIA official.
I am glad that ISI caught your man, Kulbhushan, and ISI caught India by the jugular. You guys have nowhere to run. You can't even run and hide
Mr. Pirzada,
okay, Mr. Mustikhan. Mr. Mustikhan, Mustikhan, Washington.
May I
from Washington.
Brigadier साहब, आपके यहाँ बेनजीर भुट्टो को पेशावर स्कूल में किसने मारा?
I am very surprised.
They're all suicide bombers. और सुइसाइड बॉम्बर्स आपके मुल्ले पैदा करते हैं, आपके मुल्ले पैदा करते हैं, आपके मदरसों में पैदा होते हैं.
I want to go to. I also feel that another reason we need to look at. Let's get a view from Washington now, please. Okay, RSN, Washington. From Washington, Ahmar Mustikhan is a journalist and he's the defender of the human rights of the people of Baloch. He has something to say to you tonight from Washington on why he feels Pakistan has unilaterally suspended the peace process with India. Ahmar Mustikhan, go ahead, and I think Group Captain Sultan Hali can respond. Yeah,
I'm not the least surprised over the Pakistani action. Pakistan has always been doing these kind of deceptive games against India. Pakistan's foreign policy, especially its policy towards India, its policy in Afghanistan, and its policy in Balochistan are dictated by the military headquarters in Rawalpindi and the inter-services intelligence in Apara. So it doesn't come to us as a surprise that Pakistan is doing this. India has all... Can you just see the woman that has been posted here in one of the most important destinations, which is the United Nations? That is a woman that Nawaz Sharif hates. Nawaz Sharif doesn't like Malia Lodi one bit, because Malia Lodi had twice took part in bringing down his government.
What kind
and
of
now she is posted here by General Rahil Sharif. Now General Rahil Sharif has a personal grudge against India.
Come to the point.
Rahil Sharif, Uncle Aziz Bhatti was killed in the 1965 war. His elder brother was killed in the 1971 war. These guys are dictating policy with India. I am surprised. I would like India to tell Pakistan bluntly to get out of 1/3 of Kashmir that they have occupied. To India to become a superpower, India is becoming a superpower, and today we see 350,000 Kashmiri Pandits unable to go to their homeland. India is being very soft with Pakistan.
Sultan Ali,
I am appealing
Sultan
to
Ali,
India
do you have
stick to the Modi doctrine.
Sultan Ali,
The Modi doctrine. The Modi doctrine is the best.
Ahmar Mustikhan wants it. Sultan Ali, Group Captain Sultan Ali, do you have such a dislike and hatred for the people of Balochistan that you would not even let an independent Baloch person speak on the program? Is this the kind of way in which you despise Balochistan, that an independent Baloch speaks from Washington and you hate his guts? Now my question to you is,
you're a piss poor anchor. Now you are trying.
Now the point is this.
To Balochistan.
Yeah, it is
talking about India and Pakistan. So hear me out.
Well, Balochistan is relevant. You will have to hear about Balochistan, and I suspect that is one of the reasons. That is one of the reasons you've suspended the talks.
Business to talk about Balochistan. It is a sovereign part of Pakistan, and India has no business poking its dirty nose into Pakistan.
Arnab,
see how you get needled when we talk about the rights of the freedom. See how you get needled when we talk about Balochistan. Yes, please, Ahmar Mustikhan.
Take a few minutes from you.
Ahmar Mustikhan will respond to you. Group Captain Hali, I'll tell you one thing. Just 1 minute. Ahmar, 1 minute. What's it? Now, this debate. No, what's it? 30 seconds to both sides. 30 seconds to both sides. Your time starts now, and when I say that you stop, then Sultan Ali, you speak. Because Sultan Ali, even if you don't like the people of Balochistan, you will have to hear one independent Baloch on the program tonight. And that is also one of the reasons why the talks have been suspended. Because you're being exposed by the Free Balochistan movement, and you don't have the guts to take the peace process forward, because there can be no peace process till there is peace for the people of Balochistan. Ahmar Mustikhan, please. Yeah, Ahmar Mustikhan. 1 second. Orya Maqbool Jan, please. Yes.
Yes. Yes, Arnab, India must very clearly tell even the United States. I am here, a citizen of the United States, but India must very clearly tell the United States that when it comes to Pakistan, Washington, D.C. must do the listening and New Delhi will be doing the talking. These guys sometimes prod India to go and have peace with Pakistan and talk with Pakistan. These guys actually do not really understand Pakistan very well. India understands Pakistan well. Afghanistan understands Pakistan well. We Baloch understand Pakistan well. Bangladesh secular forces understand Pakistan well.
Sultan Ali.
These guys will never have peace with India.
Yes.
Now your time is up, sir. Dreamt about
now your time is up. Sultan Ali's counter. Sultan Ali's counter now.
Mindset.
Now, sir. No. Time up.
This
Sultan Ali's counter now. Yeah, Group Captain Ali. Group Captain Ali, respond.
These guys have a jihadi mindset. They do not consider Indians even
Sir, I
humans.
laid out the Newshour terms of engagement. Your time is up. Group Captain Hali, please respond. Please do. But please don't attack someone at a personal level only because he's a Baloch.
No.
Just because he's a Baloch, don't have a personal attack. Please continue.
Yes, Arnab,
these guys, I'm appealing to India to please take
No, 1 second. He's responding.
The Modi doctrine is the best thing.
The time is now is mine.
Yeah, your time now. Your time, Group Captain Hali. Respond.
Okay, my time
These
is now.
guys should...
Abdul Basit has called the bluff of India. You had been stalling the talks, but you did not have, India did not have the guts to announce it. What Abdul Basit has done, he has called your bluff and he has given you a very loud slap on your face. And Arnab, I can see your cheeks are red because you have been hit smack hard by Abdul Basit, who has called a spade, because terror and talks do not go together. If India is going to indulge into terrorism by sending its senior raw operatives into Pakistan, such terrorists like Kulbhushan Yadav,
then
we have no business talking to you. That's all.
Listen, Group Captain Hali. Listen, Group Captain Hali. One sec. Just 1 minute. 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 No. 1 minute. Ahmar, listen. Ahmar, listen. Now, Group Captain Hali. Either you have myopia, or you probably have hypermetropia, or you probably think that you are some kind of a telepathist, that you can tell the color of my cheeks by simply looking into your camera. I can turn left and right and tell you I've never had a red cheek in my life. Now the point which emerges is essentially this, that while India has continued dialogue, you, the Pakistanis, have suspended talking about terror bilaterally. While we have continued dialogue, you have suspended the process where India asks you direct questions on your role in sponsoring terror. That is the answer tonight. No, Mr. Pirzada, you don't have to come out in defense of Group Captain Hali tonight, because while we have continued dialogue, you have suspended the process where you've been asked to apprehend criminals and terrorists who you've used in your proxy war against India.
Use your head. India.
Sir, drill some sense in your head.
Pakistan.
1 second.
It is Pakistan who has engaged itself.
But what you are doing is you're appointing terrorists.
These guys are
I find this you're being incorrigible.
Guys advisor who is not
who have a lopsided
advisor. He's a national terrorism advisor.
These guys have a lopsided view.
Maroof will counter. I'll let Maroof come in.
They think.
I'll let Maroof come in. Maroof, Raza, please.
Ornab, may I remind, Sir Ornab.
Yeah.
Ornab, with respect, may I just calm tempers down and may I just make 3 points. Point 1, whenever Pakistan keeps ranting about Kashmir, I would like to remind them when Nawaz Sharif visited Washington on 4th of July 1999 at the heart of the Kargil conflict, Mr. Clinton, in the book Clinton Diaries, written by his good friend, the journalist Mr. Brunch, had said very clearly to him, as far as we are concerned, the Kashmir issue is settled, now respect the LOC. The second point which I wish to tell them, that Mr. Basit's job as High Commissioner is to further relations between the two countries. But as Group Captain himself has brought out, that he has given a slap to India or whatever he is saying, which I don't buy. But quite clearly he has worked detrimental to Indian Pakistani interests. He has no business to continue to stay in India. He should be asked to leave and go home.
Absolutely.
And the third thing, that the Indian High Commission and the Indian mission in Pakistan should now start engaging with the Baloch, with the POK residents and the people of Gilgit-Baltistan. They should be invited at every occasion to use the Indian High Commission to give press conferences and tell the world about their plight.
I can't agree more.
Because the world knows it is recorded in several books, including books by Pakistani authors, whether it's Akbar Ahmed, whether it's Christopher Snedden, whether it is Murtaza Razvi, they've all written about it. It's time that the POK residents, the Balochis, the Baltistanis are allowed to air their views in press conferences from Indian missions in Pakistan. And India should use all its goodwill worldwide to put Pakistan to the top, because we cannot have good relations with them. Period.
The issue is that you are the one who has separated Bangladesh from Pakistan. Your Prime Minister agreed and confessed. Likewise, it happens again in your
after you had washed your hands in bloods of Bangladesh.
Again,
Mr. John, have you ever been to Dhaka? Go there and walk the steps of the Dhaka Club. Photographs of your genocide are still there. So don't tell us we separated. We helped the Bangladeshis.
You created the genocide because you are the one who supported the
Mukti.
You are the one who now your agent is apprehended.
With the kind of rape
you
did.
He was doing everything. He was doing helping separatist.
We allowed your soldiers
he was working for
to
them.
even carry
and now the
weapons
point
after
is that
their
he
surrender.
fought that ended.
Otherwise they would have been lynched
you have no
in
moral
public.
obligation.
So don't lecture us on Bangladesh.
In India,
आप अपनी शक्ल को देखिए शीशे में जाके.
And that
You're
is
a
what you
bunch of
deserve. You
murderers.
don't want any negotiations. Every time you have done the same. And that is what it is now. Pakistan ultimately.
Let Basit
and the
go
Pakistan
back.
government, where the High Commissioner of Pakistan says that the government of Pakistan has said
Rashneek,
that
let me tell you, sir. Rashneek and Group Captain Rashneek, Kher and Group Captain Sultan Ali, please. Rashneek and Group Captain Sultan Ali,
read.
Rashneek and Group Captain Sultan Ali, please.
Written by the High Commissioner of America, who are your masters, from whom you beg for money all the time. He has written a book called Blood Telegram. Please read this. In this book, it has written how you are perpetuating a genocide, how millions of people were killed, how women were raped, how in Dhaka University in one night you almost cleaned the university of all the intellectuals of Dhaka.
Have you read
so please, you perpetuated a genocide on people and you expected them to live with you. Why were the Bangladeshis were slaves? We have done the right thing. The Mukti Bahini was supported by India and I am very proud of it. And I hope and pray that the Indian government supports Balochis, the Gilgit-Baltistanis and separate Balochistan from Pakistan, and one day Gilgit-Baltistan and Pakistan occupied Kashmir becomes a part of the Indian Union.
And the Shah of Iran said,
I have to
Sultan Ali only, please.
You can keep talking
Sultan Ali.
the cows from home, sir. But the truth is, you will lose more Pakistan than you have already lost.
No, Pakistan is imploding. There is no doubt about it. Absolutely. They are not.
India, shut up. Shut up.
Oh, look who is goggling terrorists.
Is this your level?
Let's not degrade the level of the debate
Is
once.
this your level of intellect?
Thank you, Kulbhushan.
Is this
Thank
your
you,
level of
ISI.
intellect?
Thank you, Kulbhushan. We have exposed you.
Yeah.
बुत हमको कहे काफिर.
Okay.
बुत हमको कहे काफिर.
Saudi Arabia.
The question is, no, one sec.
Saudi Arabia.
I'm getting in 1 second. Let's get Ahmar, Mustikhan and Orya Maqbool Jan back on the debate. Let me manage this, please. 1 second. Gentlemen, I agree. I agree. No, 1 second. Just one minute. RSN, listen. RSN, the news, you see, I'll tell you one thing. I can assure you, no, 1 second. Group Captain Hali, Syed, Tariq, Pirzada, I have not used anything but refined language in the course of the program. The only point that I'm making to you tonight, and I'm making this point even to our Indian panelists, is this. Believe me, no, 1 second. Believe me, with the way...
You are a speaker on your own, uncontrolled by anybody.
Thank you. Now, thank you, sir. Now the point is this. The point. I can assure you and all our panelists tonight that the way the freedom movement in Balochistan has begun, people in Gilgit-Baltistan, by the grace of the God Almighty, people in Sindh will also speak up. There will be freedom movements all across Pakistan, and that is an unstoppable fact. The limited point I want to come back to tonight is the suspension of the dialogue process by Pakistan. I am simply coming to the issue of the suspension of the dialogue process with Pakistan, and on that issue I want to go back to Ahmar Mustikhan and Orya Maqbool Jan, please. Orya Maqbool Jan and Ahmar Mustikhan.
Arnab.
No, one second.
Arnab, say.
Just one. Can I get the two panelists on side, please? Yes, Mr. Jan. No. At this side at this part of the debate, Mr. Jan and Mr. Ahmar Mustikhan are on the panel. I'm just telling you both. You are going to debate with each other for the next 2 minutes.
Yes.
Your time will start now. I will make my opening point and I will get Orya Maqbool Jan, and then you can respond to him. Orya Maqbool Jan, the point here is this. See, we are not anti-Pakistani. We are only realistic. Today your ambassador, your High Commissioner says we should engage comprehensively and meaningfully. Now, it was meaningful and comprehensive, Mr. Jan, when Narendra Modi flew to Lahore to meet Nawaz Sharif. It was meaningful when the foreign secretaries met in Nepal after Pathankot. It was meaningful when Sushma Swaraj and Sartaj Aziz met after Pathankot. India has initiated meaningful dialogue. Now you have formally run away from the peace process. You can't blame anyone anymore. From Washington to Moscow, everyone's going to laugh at you now when you say we want a peace process with India. You realize everyone is going to laugh at you when you say you ever wanted a peace process. You have spoilt it for yourself. Mr. Jan, let's be realistic tonight. Mr. Jan. Yeah, Mr. Jan, go on.
Answer Mr. Mustikhan.
Yeah.
I just want to answer
Yes.
Mr. Mustikhan first. I don't know from which part of Balochistan he belongs to.
Thank you.
I am from Balochistan. I'm son of the Sahel.
Let's say-
I belong to that area, and I've seen all insurgencies. And I know every tribesman.
I
have a relationship with Mr. Tama Mangan, to Mr. late Mr. Bukti, and everyone. And this man sitting in USA, he talks about Balochistan, that he has seen everything, and he's not even a Baloch. He's not even a Baloch. He's just like talking like this. He's an impositor over there. Okay, one thing. And only 2-3 people like Brahmda, whereas the entire Gupti tribe, entire Mari tribe.
I really wished yes, Arnab, I really wished at least a journalist from Pakistan should have been slightly better than the men in uniform. It seems like they are all the same, and I feel very ashamed of them. They have.
I'm please,
I'm a little,
please.
To be very honest, I'm a little cheesed off. I'm a little cheesed off at News Daily why they have been so gracious towards this rogue state. This rogue state has never accepted the fact that India is the big neighbor, that India must be respected. They have time and again. They have time and again. They have time and again violated international norms. The same General Akbar Khan, who had initiated Operation Gulmarg in Kashmir, the same general who came and occupied Balochistan. Please, this must be put on record. The General Akbar Khan, who had sent these Lashkars from the tribal areas, who are even today busy in Afghanistan. Do you know what these generals call the international troops in Afghanistan? Chocolate boy. These generals call the international troops in Afghanistan chocolate boys. These generals call Indians and Hindus cowards.
Now listen.
I am pleased appealing to the government of India not to be soft.
Now don't be worried. No, 1 second. No, Ahmar, time up. Ahmar, time up. You see, what I only seek tonight, I don't seek an apology. Trust me, an apology is too much to seek from the Pakistanis. I simply hope that men of some intelligence tonight, like our Pakistani panelists who are on the program, will go back tonight, see what happened, and come back and say sorry for blaming India, because it was Narendra Modi who broke the ice with you and travelled to Lahore. Even, no, 1 second.
As proved by Columnist.
Therefore, listen. The same Abdul Basit, Maroof can add to this. That the same Abdul Basit, on the 6th of March, the same Abdul Basit, who Maroof rightly says should be asked to leave India, had said that uninterrupted talks between India and Pakistan are the only way forward for the two countries. That's what he had said.
Never started. Only Mr.
Pirzada.
Arnab, I will please request.
Mr. Pirzada, what are you saying?
Arnab, I will request you. You are expecting too much good
There is no point in talking to you. It will have to be decided by God.
Pakistan will never be a decent entity.
Arnab,
Pakistan will never be a decent entity.
Well, India has.
The Pakistanis that
Arnab,
if we look back...
Tell Maroof Raza, he will never be a decent man in his life. No mother can train him to be decent enough.
Because your laugh adds to the comic factor of this debate.
Because the point is, when you are stabbing in the back, you are not allowing Pakistan to go to solve this problem.
If you are serious about engaging with India,
so what is happening around?
Then you have to march in tandem with us. You cannot do a flip-flop from saying that we will have unconditional dialogue and then suddenly say it's suspended. Then after a while, again, when we begin to ignore you, you will run to all international capitals asking for further recognition and wanting to get back into the same place. The bottom line, Arnab, the bottom line is that India will get nowhere with talking to Pakistan.
Supporting the
we have to create an international consortium to discipline Pakistan.
I once again request our Pakistani panelists to use their considerable influence to tell both Rawalpindi and Islamabad that you should allow India access to the training camps in Muridke and Muzaffarabad from where Hafiz Syed runs his terror networks. Trust me, the day you get rid of Hafiz Syed, Pakistan will be a better country. The day you get rid of Hafiz Syed, Pakistan will be a better country. I thank you all for joining me on debate number 1 on the Newshour tonight. Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen.